You'll both take the instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Behave yourselves, do as you're told, and above all, defend yourselves at all times. God bless you both.
Ladies and gentlemen, big height and reach advantage for Dawson. Keane, the superior boxer. This is the WBO international belts, which in theory puts them into world title reckoning for that WBO belt, currently held by Marco Hook, who's going to be defending it next weekend against the, I suppose, British #1, you've got to say, Ola Ofalabi. That's going to be a war.
That's going to be another classic, isn't it, to go with the previous classics. But this is a very interesting fight here, you know, even though Chris Keane has beat the former British champion, I think this is definitely a step up for him.
Well, Dawson does like to get involved. He's a joiner away from boxing, but he's a bit of a hit or be hit type. Can be very effective.
Well, Dawson has definitely boxed at a higher level, hasn't he? He's boxed better quality opponent as Chris Keane, but for me, Keane oozes class.
He had a spell away from boxing, Dawson, when he was had his young family, kids Zach and Freya, and looking to provide for them. But now back in title contention. And the winner of this one surely will be into a position as a mandatory challenger for the British champion.
This won't be the first undefeated record Dawson takes. Just missing with the right hand there, Dawson. If he can take Chris Keane's undefeated record, it won't be the first time he's done it.
I was impressed with Keane against McPhilbin, but those rounds against Nathan Cleverly, I wouldn't mind betting that while they would have been learning, it would have been a learning experience, it wouldn't have been an easy experience. And there's that chopping right hand again from Dawson.
Yeah, and even though Keane has a lovely relaxed style, it moves his upper body quite well. He does carry the left hand low, which will suit Dawson.
Really looking for that chopping right, Dawson. Only just off target again there. Keane's got to keep his wits about him, particularly in these early stages.
Yeah, they both went for right hands, didn't they, simultaneously. I think Dawson just got there a little bit quicker than Keane. And it's just, for the moment for Keane, it's just judging the distance against the taller guy. And obviously for Dawson, he needs to keep Keane on the end of those long shots, doesn't he want him to get inside those punches.
Keane doing quite well defensively to stay away from those attempted power shots from Dawson.
Yeah, and staying calm under pressure also, which was impressive.
Not done a lot in this opening round though, Chris Keane.
Well, he haven't. Just tried that little right hand, didn't he? The one that finished Shane McPhilbin, but he just fell a little bit short with it. And the cage opener for both fighters, but for me, I think Dawson's just edged this round.
Yeah, Dawson certainly doing more for me. Very little from Keane in that opening period. Cagey sort of opening, a lot of respect between the two fighters.
Well, at this rate, John, where everyone can punch, you have to take your time, don't you, and look at your opponent and see what they got to offer. That was where they both threw the right hands, but Dawson got there quicker and then followed through with a left hook. Just thought, well, it was a good shot, and to be fair to Keane, he took it well. That was just another occasion, actually, wasn't it? Landed with a body shot also.
Finish the left hook, alright? You just got to think fast, alright? Just get that in your head. Don't think about rolling over the stick. Boom!
Kyle Greaves in the corner with Neil Dawson.
Just think fast. Get that right hand, if you're trying to touch down there, you come over the top, that's what he's looking for. Get the left hand high, alright? Deep breath, alright? Yeah? Go on. Think fast.
Good advice there in the corner.
Seconds out, round 2.
That was always the worry for Dawson, wasn't it? That Keane being the faster fighter with quicker hands.
10-rounder then, remember this one. And we go now into the second round. Well, it looked as though it was going to be a distance fight, this one, did it, Barry? The first guy who really connects. It's got that sort of look about it. Two power punches. And who's going to find the target first?
Yeah, hold on, just look at their feet then. Look at it. Oh, good left hook there from Dawson. How wide his stance is, Chris Keane. He's built for power, but he edges his front foot forward. He steals his space.
Well, that's a terrific right hand from Keane, but Dawson takes it well. That's Keane's best shot of the fight so far. First real power shot. And now caught by left arm from Dawson. And Keane's unsteady, almost went there. And a big left hook from Keane. And he's down. And now he's going to be the end of the fight, surely. He's all over the place. Richie Davis is having a close look at it, but I think this is going to be all over. It is. And Neil Dawson has done it again. The man who took out Tony Conquest has now taken out Chris Keane. And Neil Dawson, Keane doesn't really appreciate what hit him. Dawson has done it again, and just look what it means.
Well, something else, wasn't it? It really was. But he took a crunching right hand over the top, first of all from Chris Keane. Looked in trouble himself, and then when Keane went in for the kill, Dawson again taking another undefeated record. And what a performance yet again.
He is a handful, is Neil Dawson. Chris Keane still doesn't really know what happened, I don't think. There's the lads who've made the trip down from Thorpe Esley.
And what a trip, well worth the trip as well, wasn't it? Phenomenal performance again from Neil Dawson.
Well, let's take another look at how this finished. Spectacular win, and the celebrations continue.
He's right to be happy for me. That's a big win, massive statement. And this Keane just taking half a step back, catching Dawson with that right hand over the top.
Took
Dawson,
it well, though, took it well.
He did, but he was still hurt, John. He went back a little bit on unsteady legs. And Keane rightly took his time, didn't he? He just stalked his opponent as he come forward. And then got caught with the power of Dawson.
That hook that did it for Dawson.
Short left hook on the temple.
And another one.
And Keane, obviously, with confidence in his power, went to unload. And Dawson, with the longer arm, surprisingly got there first with the shorter of the hooks. And put Keane through the ropes. And this is where Keane needed to take a knee, didn't he? He needed to take a rest.
British champion John Lewis Dickinson will be watching this, I'm sure. And Neil Dawson has just punched himself into a shot, surely, at the British title, surely. Really impressive. When he unloaded the left hook, that one was a cracker.
It was a tremendous shot, wasn't it? But what impressed me a lot as well was not just, obviously, his power. He took some crunching left hooks on there, but as he was unloading his own shots on Chris Keane, he had to take a few good left hook, right hooks. Takes a shot very well, doesn't he, Dawson?
He is all over the place there, Chris Keane. He wanted to continue, but we were looking straight into his eyes, and there was no way he could have continued. And for Dawson, it's going to be another night of celebration. He's 32 years old, only his 14th professional fight, and he's on the cusp of British title challenge. Surely going to happen now. Here's Mark Burdis, who will now confirm the victory for Neil Dawson.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 22 seconds of the second round, your referee Richie Davies has stopped the contest. He deemed Chris Keane was in no position to continue. The winner in the red corner and the new WBO International Cruiserweight Champion from Rotherham, Neil Dawson!
He's a little bit of a Cinderella man, is Neil Dawson, and he just keeps on coming, Steve.
It really does, John. You know, that's what it's all about. You get a hometown fight to get in the ring. He gets in as a slight favourite. He gets clipped. He gets done in 2 rounds. Steve, that's how savage, that's how quick. That was a real fight.
That was a real fight. I mean, they were both going for it. You know what? What it also shows, Steve, what a topsy-turvy sport this is.
Yeah.
13 days ago, when he lost to Danny McIntosh, I got that right that time. I want a round of applause for that, by the way. He must have thought his world was caved in. You know, the British title nomination had gone, was going to go. Suddenly the phone goes, he takes his fight at short notice, steps straight back into the ring after a setback, and there you go. He took his opportunity fantastically.
No, and it was long before the end that we saw Keane's eyes go. In fact, before he caught
Dawson with that good right hand. His eyes were fluttering. He looked on a minute before the knock, 30 seconds
you
earlier.
said it here downstairs. Like, he hits with a left and he was blinking away. And
yes.
He looked unsteady, Keane, but I mean, before the fight, he was talking guaranteed fireworks, but we've got to be honest, we expected him to come from Keane, but... Let's have a look again at the finish, and let's see if we can go all the way through, because I'd like to see an earlier shot, then we're just going to see the end. See, that's a good shot. At that point, that's the same left hook. Yeah.
He should have taken a knee, but it's easy to say to take a knee. He doesn't know where he is at that point. He catches Dawson during that exchange, Steve, with a good shot.
That's right, yeah, but you know, he caught it after the first one when he was hurt. He caught Dawson with a good shot.
You saw when he caught him with the right hand in the other corner. You saw him move back.
There was
Dawson,
a shot there.
he was hurt.
Oh, and he still throws back here, doesn't he?
Although he's landing there, his body's not there.
The left-right he landed himself there were good shots.
Even
though he was punching purely on instinct.
Well, there we go. That's a word we like. Instinct. Any fighter that's that gone back to the ropes and nearly lands 2 shots that have got him out of trouble.
Don't write Chris Keane off on
No.
place.
No one's writing Chris Keane off. No one's writing Chris Keane off. Well, there he is. Correct, a brilliant decision by Richie Davis, of course. I think we can go over to speak to Neil Dawson now. Maybe we'll grab a word with Chris Keane a bit later in the evening. But John Rawlins there, I'm looking over. Carl Greaves got a big smile on his face. Francis Warren's there. Dawson smiling. John Rawlins smiling. Everyone's smiling. John, take it away.
He's a happy boy, Steve, put it mildly. Well done.
Yeah, I'm happy. I didn't expect to finish it as quick as that, but I always thought that I could punch hard enough to knock anybody out, so good result for me.
You told me a few months ago that you were going to do that to Tony Conquest. Didn't see you this time before the fight, but I guess if I had, you'd have been saying it's going to be more of the same.
I would have told you the same again, yeah. We had a bit of a joke between us, didn't we, last time, but I kind of know I can punch as good as anybody in cruiserweight division, and I just want my British title fight now. I weren't man to train this, I think they knocked it back, but I want it back now. I mean, there's no reason why not.
Well, they're surely going to do that now after that win, aren't they? John Lewis Dickinson, he's the guy who you want.
That's it, whoever they put me in against, I end up beating them, so John Lewis Dickinson, I think it's got to be that next time. If not, there's something seriously untoward going off, isn't there?
Well, Carl Greaves, you manage this guy, look after him. Just tell us a bit about him and what makes him special.
He's so heavy-handed. That's where his plus points is. He's so heavy-handed. I just said to him tonight, be patient and just be faster than him. And he just listened to me tonight, and it worked perfect. He had so much power, and every time he hit the lad, he shook him up. I mean, I think he hit him in the first round as well, and it shows you how hard he can hit. I mean, obviously going in prize fight, he lost his manager position for the British title. And now, obviously, after this performance, I'm going to be straight onto the boxing board of control, give him an email on Monday and put him back mandatory. They've got to do it. And this is what we want, British title. I mean, this is a fantastic bout. It puts him in the top 15 in the world, but the British title is all he's ever dreamed about, and this is what we're going to go for.
Just tell us what these wins are meaning for you as a sportsman, because you had your time out of the ring, didn't you? It's not always been easy. You've had to work away from boxing.
I've struggled a lot, to be honest with you, and I only come back to boxing. I just had an opportunity to start training and I thought I'll come back to try and make a few quid out of it, to be honest. But the more I got into training, the more I got back into the ring, I know that I could mix it with top level fighters, so there was no reason why I shouldn't get a fair go. But to be honest, I could still do with that extra push, just someone helping with my training, my nutrition and things like that, just to take that extra step. Because I haven't been 10 rounds yet. I've been scheduled to go 10 rounds 3 times, but I ain't got that far yet.
Like that, you won't be winning 10
well,
rounds,
that's it. But
does it?
It's your stamina into later rounds that's still untested. But I can always work on that, can't I?
Well, Francis Warren, what about the future for this guy? Does he now potentially move on to that title shot?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we'll be pushing for. And you know, as Carl said, I expect him to be installed as the mandatory for the British title. But in terms, he help with his nutrition and full-time training. That's something that we would definitely be helping him with. You can definitely see the dynamite in the guy's fists. That first round, I kind of thought, we're going to have another typical cruiserweight fight. But second round, absolutely completely changed the picture.
There's a tremendous performance. That's going to be pretty big licks in Thorpe Esley, isn't it?
They love me. I'm a little hero in Thorpe Esley, so tomorrow they'll be ringing me all, checking me out, and that they will have watched it live. So just say hello to them all, and thanks for the support. That's all I can say, really.
Well done. Great to watch again. Well done, guys.
Yeah. Can I just say hello to my kids, Zach and Freya? I always have to mention them.
And they have the big mention in the commentary as well. Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, cheers.
So Zach and